U.S. Ambassador reaffirms strong ties with Nigeria, says new visa policy not meant to restrict travel.
To provide truthful information and abide by the terms of their visas, as I know the great majority of Nigerians do.
Federal government to begin registration of smallholder farmers for agricultural interventions as the minister seeks traditional rulers' support. WAEC takes responsibility for 2025 result delays, urges candidates to recheck updated results. Hello and thanks for joining us on the news at 11 on NTA News 24. I'm Zenret Dingmon. Now, the United States of America's ambassador to Nigeria, Richard Mills Jr., reaffirmed America's continued commitment to respect and value the relationship between the U.S. and Nigeria. At a joint media briefing in Abuja, the U.S. ambassador and the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, said a new America visa policy is not to deny Nigerians traveling to the U.S. Saliu Abdullahi Gwanara reports.
The United States of America and Nigeria are both enjoying several decades of bilateral relationship with shared prosperity in socio-economic and human capital development among its citizens. Barely 200 days in office of U.S. President Donald Trump, his latest administrative policies on prospective Nigerian travelers to the U.S. have been generating mixed reactions. Here, the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, and the U.S. Ambassador to Nigeria, Richard Mills Jr., assured that the new visa policies are not designed to deny Nigerians entry into the U.S., but to enhance service delivery while sustaining the existing strong relationship between both countries.
We had engagements with Ambassador Mills, and what he has told me that this is in no way punitive. It's just to enhance service delivery between the two countries. These are not new measures. Everyone knows that when you want to visit any country, it is your duty to ensure compliance with their laws. I mean, when someone comes into Nigeria, we expect that person to also comply with our laws here. So what I want to say here is that Nigerians must continue to demonstrate a better sense of patriotism about their country.
We encourage all applicants to provide truthful information and abide by the terms of their visas, as I know the great majority of Nigerians do. By doing that, we are going to strengthen the bonds between our countries, and we will ensure that opportunities for travel, business, and cultural exchange remain available to all of us.
This is a shared commitment to update Nigeria's potential travelers to the U.S. of the new order and guarantee their safety in Abuja. Salihu Abdullahi Gwanara, NTA News.
And the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security says the ministry will begin registering and identifying smallholder farmers eligible for the federal government agricultural intervention programs. This is coming as the Minister, Abubakar Kyari, seeks the support of traditional institutions to ensure the success of the food security program. Musa Babaliu reports.
Traditional institutions have over the years been the backbone of mobilizing, encouraging, and educating farmers in their localities. This is the rationale behind the Minister of Agriculture's engagement with traditional rulers in Nasarawa State. At the Palace of Aren Egon, Ahmed Ubangari Alakuwan, the Minister, Abubakar Kyari, highlighted some of the interventions and support provided by President Tinubu to enhance the production of smallholder farmers. Abubakar Kyari assured the traditional rulers that President Tinubu is committed to addressing the challenges associated with farming in the country. He stated that the government is aware of the high cost of farming inputs and that efforts are underway to further reduce production costs.
For the first time in 2020, the government of Bola that gave out fertilizer free of charge. And that was why fertilizer pricing was taken to our level.
The Emir had earlier outlined some of the challenges and demands of farmers to the minister.
We kindly request for your support and intervention to ensure price stability, protect farmers from losses.
The minister also paid homage to the Sarkin Gudi, the father of the current governor of Nasarawa State, Abdullahi Sule. From Lafia, Nasarawa State, Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
To demonstrate transparency and accountability, West African Examinations Council (WAEC) has taken full responsibility for delays and other issues affecting the 2025 West African Senior School Certificate Examination results. Adejoke Odeka reports that the candidates that sat for the 2025 examination have been asked to recheck their results following correction of identified anomalies.
Students who sat for the West African Senior School Certificate Examination (WASC) can now breathe a sigh of relief as the head of National Office of the West African Examinations Council (WAEC) says they have successfully resolved the technical issues that affected the grading of their serialized papers.
Some discrepancies were discovered in the grading of the serialized papers. The Council, being accountable, transparent, and credible organization, further investigated all the serialized papers. Discovered that the serialized code file was wrongly used in the printing of English language objective test, which was paper 3, which resulted in them being scored with wrong keys.
The Council says it has released the 2025 WASC results with 89.55% of candidates' results fully processed, while 10.45% are pending due to unresolved issues. The results show that 62.96% of candidates obtained credits in at least 5 subjects, including English and mathematics, representing a 9.16% decrease from 2024.
205,916 candidates, representing 10.45%, have one or more of their subjects still being processed due to some issues to be resolved. Efforts are, however, being made to speedily complete the processes to enhance the release of the affected candidates' results. This will take place in a few days.
The Council's management acknowledges the embarrassment and emotional distress caused by anomalies that candidates experienced. The examination body takes full responsibility and has assured those affected as well as stakeholders that it is working diligently to rectify the situation and implement measures to prevent such occurrences in the future. In Lagos, Adejoke Odeka, NTA News.
Now, dangerous products do not only compromise treatment outcomes but also erode public trust in healthcare institutions, and the federal government vows to prevent this. The federal government vows to prevent in Nigeria. Coordinator Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Mohammed Ali Pate, stressed this at the inauguration of the federal and state task forces on counterfeit drugs and on wholesome processed foods. Haman Jabani reports.
The inauguration of these task forces is seen as part of a broader reform aimed at achieving universal health coverage and ensuring the integrity of the nation's public health supply chains. It also aligns with the current administration's health sector renewal investment plan, which prioritizes quality, accountability, and stronger health system governance. The initiative is believed to represent a commitment to tackling the long-standing menace of substandard and falsified products that has endangered the lives of millions of Nigerians. Provision of Cap C 24 of NAFDAC gives the initiative a strong backing. Coordinating Minister, Health and Social Welfare, Professor Mohammed Ali Patti, emphasized that the proliferation of counterfeit medicines and unwholesome food items pose a critical threat to the nation's health system, consumer safety, and overall national development.
Together, I'm sure we'll overcome. There is no challenge that is beyond us. And let's all commit to a future where every Nigerian can trust that the medicines that they take and that the food that they consume are safe, genuine, and wholesome. This is what the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is trying to get this country on a path so that we are respected.
In the coming weeks and months, the task forces are to intensify efforts towards rollout of public awareness campaigns, leveraging on innovation and technology to checkmate those who seek to undermine health and safety standards of the country.
The fight against counterfeit products in Nigeria is urgent and ongoing. Lives are at stake every day. Women, children's lives are at stake almost every minute. And delays in action only deepen the risks faced by our people.
With this initiative, the federal government is sending a clear message. The health and safety of Nigerians will not be left to chance. Hamad Jabani, NTA News.
And still on health, the Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention, NCDC, has issued a public health advisory warning of a potential chikungunya outbreak in the country. Now, this comes amid a global surge in cases, with over 240,000 cases and 90 deaths reported across at least 16 countries this year, with China notably recording nearly 5,000 cases since early July 2025. While Nigeria has not yet reported any confirmed chikungunya case this year, the NCDC states that the country's current environmental conditions, particularly in states affected by floods and other high-risk areas, are ideal for an outbreak. Chikungunya is a viral disease spread by mosquitoes, which are active during the day, especially in the early morning and late afternoon. Symptoms typically include a sudden onset of fever, severe joint pain, muscle pain, headache, and fatigue. In response, the NCDC is strengthening its vector surveillance and control efforts, collaborating with health workers and state governments to quickly identify and respond to suspected cases. It is also reinforcing community-wide campaigns to promote hygiene and awareness. The NCDC is urging Nigerians to take proactive steps to protect themselves and their families by using insecticide-treated mosquito nets, wearing protective clothing such as long-sleeve shirts and pants, applying mosquito repellent, and eliminating standing water around homes, which serves as breeding grounds for mosquitoes. Now, as former First Lady Aisha Buhari undergoes Iddah, a mandatory waiting period of mourning in Islam, she has continued to draw strength and support from Nigerian women. Now, this show of solidarity again played out when Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu led wives of federal legislators to Kaduna residence of late former President Muhammadu Buhari to show support. State House correspondent Adeni Taiwo reports.
It was drizzling in Kaduna when the First Lady and her entourage, comprising wife of the Vice President Nana Shettima, spouses of federal legislators, and some members of the Nigeria Governor Spouses Forum, arrived at the residence of late former President Muhammadu Buhari to share another solemn moment with his widow, Aisha. While the period of 7 days national mourning for the late former president is over for most Nigerians, it is not so for his widow, Aisha, who is still undergoing Iddah, a waiting period of 4 months and 10 days. From the First Lady and other members of her delegation came words of comfort, recounting the impact of the late former president, followed by special prayers for strength and comfort for the family.
He was a great leader. He really leaded with devotion, compassion, humility.
I remember him leading us on various official visits around the world. His kindness, his humility, and how he led the Nigerian contingent at every point was very admirable.
The gesture met with gratitude from the family.
Honestly, the family is overwhelmed with the love and prayers and the constant visits. Some people have come from very far away. Sometimes we wonder how they need it.
The First Lady had paid a similar visit to the Daura home of the late national leader on July 19, leading a delegation made up of governors and ministers' wives, as well as spouses of service chiefs. From Kaduna, Adeniyi Taiwo, NTA News.
It's the news at 11 on NTA News 24. We'll bring you more reports right after this break. Stay tuned.
Feel the power of precision, engineered to perfection. Every component is crafted with care, and each design is meticulously tested. From concept to creation, our engineers push the boundaries of technology, seamlessly blending performance and sustainability with a deep commitment to African ingenuity. Introducing the CNG Boss, a remarkable achievement in engineering designed to operate on compressed natural gas, a cleaner and more sustainable fuel alternative. At Innocent Vehicles, we proudly lead the way in creating greener mobility across Africa. And it doesn't stop there. From SUVs to sedans, spacious buses to electric cars, Innocent offers a wide range of models designed to meet every need. Innocent Vehicle, the pride of African roads.
Thanks for staying tuned. Now, in an effort to reform the livestock sector to a secured, modern and productive one, the Niger State government has organized a stakeholders consultative meeting on the implementation of the State Trade Animal Movement Security and Veterinary Inspection Permit. Hussein Musa reports that the initiative also serves as a forum for herders, meat processors and relevant agencies to discuss challenges and suggest impactful solutions.
The livestock sector has remained untapped, with numerous challenges hindering its progress. It is in view of this and to effectively reform the sector to meet global best practices that the Governor Bago-led administration has continued to introduce policies, with the recent being the State Trade Animal Movement Security and Veterinary Inspection Permit. These measures are expected to secure the trade corridors, track animal health status, and strengthen veterinary compliance across markets, farms, and even borders. Governor Muhammad Umar Bago noted that the policies, if implemented, will enhance socio-economic growth of the livestock value chain.
We have told our veterinary doctors and hospitals to deploy their staff to all the markets where livestock are sold. All livestock that will come to Niger State must be vaccinated and immunized, and also will be tagged so that we can have traceability. So we're going to put control posts all entries into Niger State to see any livestock coming from anywhere must come with a waybill, and we'll have a delivery note to where it's supposed to be delivered.
Now that we have grazing reserve and grasses will be given to us to plant, and he even give assurance in every local government in the state. Niger State alone is equivalent to 5 states in eastern Nigeria. So if we can get a huge land like this and our business starts moving on, I think even in Niger State alone, we will be able to supply Saudi as they wanted Nigeria to supply them with meat.
The stakeholders in the sector were also brought to speed with the progress reports on the foreign direct investment with the Brazilian Livestock Consortium. In Mena, Hussein Musa, NTA News.
The Nigerian Correctional Service is pushing for the voting rights of inmates across the country. Now, Controller General of Corrections Sylvester Nwakuche was at the headquarters of the Independent National Electoral Commission in Abuja to seek collaboration on making this a reality, a move that could reshape Nigeria's democratic landscape. Victor Azu reports.
It was a visit with democracy on the agenda. Comptroller General of Corrections, Sylvester Nwakuche, led his team to the INEC chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, to press for a cause rarely in the headlines, the voting rights of inmates. With more than 81,000 inmates nationwide, out of which more than 66,000 are awaiting trial, Nwakuche says they are often overlooked in the political process, despite a court ruling in Benin affirming their right to vote.
I'm here to see how we can work together, even if it is not now, but in the nearest future, to grant these inmates the right to vote.
The INEC chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, acknowledged the ruling, but he also recalled the challenges that have so far stalled implementation, including status of inmates on death row, those serving life sentences, and those convicted for treason.
We raised the issue of access to the correctional facilities for voter registration, creation of polling units, and voter education. We also brought to your attention concerns about access to our facilities for observers and the media. Political parties also want to know if they will be allowed to campaign in the correctional facilities and appoint polling agents on election day.
Yakubu says the first step will be to engage the National Assembly for clear legal provision on inmate voting before both agencies can work out modalities for implementation, while safeguarding democratic rights and ensuring inclusion. For thousands behind bars, this could mean a long silent voice finally being heard. In Abuja, Victor Azu, NTA News.
The National Working Committee of the People's Democratic Party has reviewed the anti-party activities of certain members of the party, particularly those endorsing other political parties for re-election in 2027. A statement issued in Abuja by the PDP National Publicity Secretary, Debo Odorun Agba, emphasized that of serious concern is the persistent public media outbursts against the party by some prominent members whose actions and utterances, including their public declaration of support and willingness to work for the victory of other political parties in the 2027 presidential election in violation of the provision of the PDP Constitution as amended in 2017, constitute a serious threat to the stability and sustenance of the party. It added that specifically Section 10 of the PDP Constitution provides that no member of the party shall align with other parties or groups to undermine the party or any of its elected government. Now, the National Working Committee of the Governing All Progressives Congress, APC, has described the attainment of its national chairman, Professor Nentawe Yilwada, to the age of 57 as remarkable, owing to his extraordinary feats in both academics and administration. In a statement signed by its National Publicity Secretary, Felix Moka said, as he clocked 57, it's hoped that he will be guided by wisdom and divine direction to manifest his wealth of expertise in ICT and governance on the party leadership at the echelon for unity, peace, strength, and prosperity. Also, the Borno State Governor and Chairman of Northeast Governors Forum, Professor Babagana Zulum, has felicitated with the National Chairman on his 57th birthday, describing him as a unifying factor whose track record speaks volumes and will greatly assist in propelling the party to greatness in all its bid to serve Nigerians better. Meanwhile, the Nasarawa State Governor Abdullahi Sule has also celebrated with the national chairman at a warm and surprise ceremony organized by the National Secretariat to honor its leader and prayed God to bless his new age and grant him the strength to move the party from strength to strength. Let's take a recap of some of our major stories. U.S. Ambassador reaffirms strong ties with Nigeria, says new visa policy not meant to restrict travel.
To provide truthful information and abide by the terms of their visas, as I know the great majority of Nigerians do.
Federal government to begin registration of smallholder farmers for agricultural interventions as minister seeks traditional rulers' support. And WAEC takes responsibility for 2025 result delays, urges candidates to recheck updated results.
This is NTA News 24.
That concludes the news at this moment. Thanks for watching. I'm Zenret Dingmo.